I talk a lot about cardio and cardiovascular capacity, right? And when it comes to, like, for example, jiu-jitsu, okay? Jiu-jitsu, there's a lot of times when you can't breathe. Okay, you can't breathe. Jiu-jitsu, for those of you who don't know, it's combat fighting on the ground. It's like wrestling a bit, and then you go to the ground and you try and, get them to, you choke them out, or you break their arm or something like that, okay? You don't do that in training, though. That would be a horrible idea. But anyways, there's a lot of times where you're in a position where you're almost suffocating. And for what this means, essentially, is that the way you approach cardio, not just physically by being able to run for a long distance, or having the skill, like I've talked in previous videos, having the skill to keep it up, right? The way you approach it in here makes a difference, okay? Are you able to relax under the pressure? Because if you get too riled up in here, your body will suffer as a result of that. Easily. I swear to God, you can recognize so many times in your life right now where you would have performed better if you didn't get riled up in here. Your heart rate maybe would have been lower. You would have had more capacity to go further. This is very common. This is very, very common. I won't call it a panic attack. I won't. But I've seen this a lot of times. You see this with beginners who start working out. They start the crisis in here. And then that manifests itself in their body. They feel like they can't go further. It's not just them quitting in here. It has a physical response in their body. And I'll give you guys an example. Try setting a goal to run. Let's say you can run you can run a lot like me, okay? And I say a goal. Okay, let's say I'm going to run a 5K. When I get close to the 5K mark, my run is going to feel more difficult. Because I know the end is near, right? But if I had set the goal to be, hey, I'm going to run 10K today, I wouldn't feel that. I wouldn't feel that tired at the 5K mark. Isn't that weird? But it all comes from knowing that, okay, the end is near, okay, then the body starts, okay, feeling more tired in a way. And although that's not directly linked with you having, like, being suffocated under pressure like that, it is still a type of pressure, and you feel more tired. You feel more tired. Try this the next time, okay? Try this the next time. Just recognize how, hey, usually my 10Ks, 5Ks, whatever case you run or whatever you're doing, really you can do this for anything. Try recognizing, like, hey, if I just set the goal a bit further, if I move the goalpost a bit further, I probably would have been able to go there and not be as tired as the point, where I was originally supposed to go. And that says a lot. It says a lot about the mindset. It says a lot about why this is so important, to have the capacity to relax. Relax and realize that this will be over soon. You will be fine. And if you just push through, you'll make it. It's that simple, right? But it starts in here. And, I'll say this, like, when I talked about my point about the beginners, right? When it comes to, I've seen this, like, in the special forces during selections and stuff. People will do, like, long rucks, and then with high pace, and it's exhausting. Having a backpack on is never a good idea, or it's never a nice, thing, and having to keep a high pace as well. It's very taxing on the body. It's very difficult. And so putting some high heat in there as well, and people start to fatigue. That's obvious, right? It's very taxing. And what I've seen in the past, not just from anyone else, but also from me, is that once you start getting that bit of fatigue, and you have that pressure of, shit, I have to make this, like for a selection example, for example, then you enter this into the downward spiral, right? Which I've talked about many, many times before. You start off with a negative thought, and that is going to absolutely kill your cardio. It's not just you quitting just by that, but you feel more tired. Your body senses it. I don't know how to explain this stuff, because it sounds really voodoo, but it kind of, I'll share you guys how to solve the problem as well of this, because this is, we again have two levers, just like we have for the skill cardio. The skill, you have better skill, the cardio goes up, right? And the skill goes up, boom, 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 boom. It goes, you can do both at the same time, the two levers, right? By the way, guys, if you want to know more about fitness and performance and everything like this, check out the link below, okay? Currently working with a lot of guys, they're seeing amazing progress. If you need to see testimonials for that, go to my Instagram. I have testimonials on the highlights tab there. You can check it out. Everyone who's worked with me, and it's a phenomenal program. It's not free, but I will get you in phenomenal shape. I will get you jacked. I absolutely guarantee that. So you go back, right? And you think about these two levers. One is skill, and skill goes up and the cardio goes up. Now for this, right? If you are able to relax, scoop up your nuts, and just chill, and focus on your breath, and all this stuff that really comes to mindset, like this is where it all comes to play. If you do that, then your cardio will go up. And if your cardio will go up, you now have the capacity to drive your mindset even further. So you're building like this, it's almost like a frog, like it builds on top of each other. And that's why this is so powerful. And imagine, right, we have these three levers, right? We have actual cardiovascular capacity, our heart beating at a certain rate, giving us the power to continue. We have a good level of skill, which allows us to perform well in our discipline. And then we have a solid mindset that doesn't start creating crises in our head, that doesn't make us feel more tired than we are. Imagine how powerful it is if we could master all these three and just use that to building blocks to really nail our cardio down. How amazing would that be? Imagine for a second how that would look if you had all those nailed down. And think about, okay, what am I actually missing? Because I bet you guys, a lot of you guys probably already have good cardio, but you're missing skill. That's usually one of them. And also, it's also like, because usually everyone has one of these and they're missing the other. So we can break cardio down into those three essentially. But a lot of it comes down to the last one too. People start, when they feel tired, they self-sabotage like that, just because they're thinking that, hey, I'm getting tired, and oh my God, I can't breathe. Oh my God, they start thinking about all this dumb stuff, right? It's tiring, it's taxing. I feel maybe they're using a tracker. So if they're using a tracker and they see the heart rate go above a certain thing, then they start to think, oh my God, right? This is why I don't like trackers that much. I use it for distance, not too much for heart rate. You can though, of course, if you're doing zone-based cardio and everything like that. So it has its place and purpose, but if it comes to a point where, oh my God, you're starting to create bad thoughts in your head because of it, then that's no use, that's not good, right? But maybe you're seeing that and you're like, oh shit, I went over, now I'm getting more tired. Oh I actually felt that in my leg. All this small stuff that if you didn't think about, would it really matter? It probably wouldn't, right? So you're creating the issue itself. You're creating all this, these bad experiences just from thinking that, oh my God, I'm tired. Imagine if we could eliminate that thought. How powerful would that be? If we could just completely eliminate the thought that, hey, I'm tired, this sucks. So another remedy for this is, once those thoughts pop up, because this is what Huberman talks about, but I would like to take it more into a deeper context in this scenario. So he said that, because he was talking about dopamine and all this stuff. Andrew Huberman, if you don't know him, he's big on neuroscience and all this. He has a big podcast. You can check him out on Spotify. I really like his podcast, especially the ones about, performance and stuff like that with Dr. Andy Galpin. You can check those out too. But he essentially mentions in one about dopamine how if you find yourself in a position like that where it sucks, you should, or in general, you should always be like, hey, I'm doing this voluntary. I love this, so you should just repeat that. I'm doing this voluntary, and I love this stuff. I'm doing this voluntary, and I love this stuff. And if you let's say you go on a treadmill right now, and you want to run the 5K or want to run the 10K or something, and you find it difficult towards the end, you can try and use that thought. That's my advice for you, okay? Try using that thought. Hey, I'm actually doing this voluntarily. I'm putting myself through this pain absolutely voluntarily, and I love it. This is what it's all about. If I wasn't here, I wouldn't be anywhere. So if I can't make it through this, right, you can build upon what I just told you. You can make it into your own. This is very powerful. This is insanely powerful. We now have 3 factors for cardio, and I basically split up every single one. Like, I know this video is mostly about the mental thing of cardio, but I'm telling you guys, if you can split these 3 up, maybe I'll make a separate video on this in the future. Split these 3 up and realize which is your weak point. Then you might find out something interesting. You might. Because truly, like, if you break it down like that, you'll find something that you're missing. And I would say that for most people, it is skill. It is skill. Go watch my video, by the way. I think the annotation will pop up here. Boom. Go watch my video, by the way, on skill-based cardio and why that matters and what's important to know about it. Because I really think that's a great video. But regardless, I just wanted to share some thoughts on this. Hope you guys enjoyed. Take care. And God bless.